they watching you. Yes, sir. And what that means is, anytime you up, they paying attention. And anytime you fall down, they all on top of it. See, I need you to understand something. You very similar to the stock market or the crypto market. See, y'all remember whenever Bitcoin was at an all-time low, right? And anybody who had bought into it, anybody who had shares that was selling, and then they was telling everybody else to sell their coin, right? Then the people who was receiving Bitcoin payments, they called them crazy, right? And then even the people who was ambassadors for Bitcoin, they turned into the national world critic for this very coin that they told everybody to purchase. But I realized something. This is the power of influence. This is the power of a person or thing that has dominance in a particular market or industry. You got to realize something about yourself. You got dominance. This is why they watching you. You have influence. This is the exact reason of why they're watching you. And so anytime you catch yourself watching people or catch yourself paying attention to people who are copying your style, copying your lingo, copying your demeanor, what you doing, how you do it, and the way you do it, you have to understand that this is what comes with the person who has that type of influence. So of course they watching you for your rises, and of course they watching you for your falls. But the way you defeat that is by remaining resilient, which means you have the ability to recover from difficult situations quickly. You back on like you never failed.
Hey, much mercy to you brothers out there. Much peace. May the Lord continue to increase you brothers out there that's in the spirit. And may the Lord continue to broaden men's eyes of the spirit, not of the flesh, not of chosen race, which the law was given to Israel in the old covenant. But now in this time, you have to have a particular spirit. And so that's what guys don't understand. I mean, the camps that you see on the street, they give you half of the understanding. And so half just don't cut it. Half just don't cut it. What cusses is having the spirit. Just like you may have certain men teaching the new covenant, but they're giving you half of it because the majority of guys' spirit ain't right. You see what I'm saying? So I'm learning that people that are just screaming new covenant and people that can teach it and that may know scriptures, even guys in the camps, they know scriptures, they know certain things. But as far as the spirit of it, a lot of guys don't have the spirit of it because a lot of guys are unsure if they really want to do this or not. So you may know things, you may know certain things. And so what I want to say is it's a particular spirit that's more important than anything. And so you do have guys in the spirit of hate and envy and slothfulness. And me, I'm not in the business of buying men's friendship. I'm not in the business of buying men friendship. If you ain't right, you just ain't right. The Lord said, if I offend thee, pluck it off. Sometimes men have to be cut off, bro. That just is what it is. And that don't mean I hate guys, or that don't mean that, I'm against guys. It just means that sometimes you have to cut guys off and continue on. You forgive guys because ultimately a lot of guys that really ain't of this. So the thing about this is, what you have to understand is that it's a particular spirit. So Paul, just look at Paul, and I'm gonna go into this lesson. I want to go into Matthew 26 a little bit, so I could give some understanding here. Because the thing about this new covenant, when the Lord gave his last Passover, it was only with 12 disciples. So when you go back to the old Passover and the old covenant, that was for everybody of our people. But now when you come to the new covenant, the Lord only held that Passover with his 12 disciples. Okay? So you have to understand that a lot of men are not of this like that. And whatever they may learn from me or certain brothers, guys can regurgitate and they can parrot it. But as for the spirit, only a few brothers going to have the spirit. And that's according to the scriptures. So I can say not everybody's of this. I could definitely say that. Especially guys that's not really amped to teaching, you have this understanding. This ain't something you just sit on. And I had to kick myself in the ass too, because I find myself, because certain of us brothers, we really do this for real. A lot of you guys, you just parrots, and a lot of you are not on it of this, bro. A lot of you just slothful. And the thing about it, it's just like the guy that took the talent and he hid it in a napkin. So a lot of you don't even understand that. And so that's why you have to study the fruits of the spirit and understand the fruits of the spirit so you could read a man's spirit. You get around guys and their thing is not really wanting to do the work, or they're not amped to teach, or they're slothful, then that's a problem. Because if you really, really, really had the new covenant, instead of just saying you're teaching it or the new covenant, you would be amped to teach this. And it's not about 3 lessons a week. But I will say, the scriptures say, be fervent in spirit. And Paul said he didn't cease to warn you day and night with tears. Before I go to Matthew, I want to read this in Acts. Because me, man, speaking for myself, I love this. And the thing about it is that you have to line up with the same passion that Paul had. You have to line up with the same passion the apostles had. You see? And that's on you. If you really don't, if this ain't really for you, it's no way you could fake it, really. Because if you have this understanding, you should be spending the Lord's money. But that shows you that a lot of guys don't really want to spend the Lord's money because they really not sure they want to do this. You see? Let's go to this real quick. Yeah, and what's also heavy too is that being provoked to jealousy, and these camps and these men teaching this racist doctrine and this doctrine that only Israel can make it, this shows you that guys are provoked to jealousy. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, you can't, in a way, it's like guys are teaching this. Another thing too, guys are teaching not because really they have compassion. It's because they want to show you like how much they know, and they really can't see who's of the spirit and who's not. A lot of guys are just teaching just to show you how much they know. What you got to understand is that this new covenant, the Lord held the Passover with only 12 disciples. And then I'm going to grab 2 in 1 Corinthians, I think it's 15. He said when he came back, the scriptures say when the Lord came back, he was only with about 500 that seen him in that time. And it had to be at least 1 million people on the planet on that time. At least 2 or 3 million people on the planet in the first century. So you have to understand that this new covenant, no, it's not supposed to be for everybody, and everybody that's teaching it ain't of it. That's just how it is. But one way to tell is just a man's spirit. So if a man don't have a right spirit, you got to get away from him. And so I'm gonna just say this one thing: if you hear something that has to do with brothers, and then you just hear one side of it, then you only understand one side of it, and in that one side of it, you getting a warped understanding of it anyway. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of you guys, I'm not in this really to get the most views or be the most famous, and none of that. None of that does not matter to me. That's why I don't have to buy views. I like it how we barely get views, because I don't have to do nothing extra. I'm not trimming down my way to seek love of the world, or we're not. I've never taught this covenant to seek validation or men's consent. Like it matters what men say, bro. One thing about Paul knew when he got knocked off that horse, he was converted and he was going to do the work of the Lord, and he was of the Lord. Jeremiah knew when the Lord called him, he was of the Lord. Samuel, when the Lord called him, he knew he was of the Lord. Peter, when he walked with the Lord, he knew he was of the Lord. Certain of us know that we're of the Lord, and a lot of guys are not. So if your spirit don't match up with certain people, then the Lord gets them away from you. All right. And it's been like that for me. If your spirit ain't right, really, and you're not really of this, then it will show. It's nowhere you could hide it. Acts 20:28. Take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock over which the Holy Ghost hath made you overseers, to feed the church of God, which he hath purchased with his own blood. So certain brothers are set up to feed the church of God, to feed the sincere ones that really want to learn. So I don't really promote hey, you must watch this or promote this channel like that, because the new covenant is like flowers, and the bees come to it, the ones that drink of it. It's kind of like that. So I don't have to put myself out there. You find it. A lot of you guys, you need attention. You want to act like you're on top, and a lot of you guys, you may know a lot of things, but your heart ain't right. A lot of you guys' heart ain't right. And me myself, man, I'm a one-man army myself. I am. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to must watch nothing. You see what I'm saying? You find it, and then if you find it, repent. That's it. And just read men's spirit, because a lot of guys, they may know certain things, but the reason why they're doing it is not for a sincere reason. Just like these guys in these camps, the reason they're teaching the Bible is not for a sincere reason. It's an agenda behind the camps. Certain guys teaching the new covenant, it's an agenda behind why they're teaching. Man, you literally got guys teaching the new covenant to get money out of brothers. You literally got guys say they're teaching the new covenant to bring confusion. You literally got guys doing that. So the Lord, he promotes his men. I don't need nobody promoting, the ones that's of the Lord, they're going to get to the videos and find it. So you don't have to must watch nothing, bro. That's of the world. And the scriptures say one of a city and few will find it. So you have to understand these certain things. This ain't a group thing. Because a lot of guys that's teaching, deep down, they have like a hidden hate. Why they're teaching the new covenant, they hate certain brothers. They're envious of certain brothers. They're jealous of certain brothers. They want to murder certain brothers. You see what I'm saying? And what you guys don't understand, it's not about all the knowledge you know. It's about why you're doing this. It's about if you had compassion. It's about if you really had charity. That's why Paul said, if I've know all these things and not have charity, I am nothing. A lot of you don't even understand that, bro. You think it's about how much knowledge. And that's just like Simon the sorcerer. You could sell all these men these tricks, but deep down your heart ain't right. Acts 20 and 29, for this I know, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. That's right, grievous wolves. When you teach me you're not in the new covenant, boy, you're not sparing the flock at all, bro. There's no hope for you if you don't believe in what the Lord did. You see, it's crazy. So you teaching that thing, you're not sparing nobody. You're not even sparing yourself, bro. That's why it says they stand in front of the kingdom of heaven and they can't even go in themselves, bro. Telling men they can't go into the new covenant. It's crazy. And certain guys in the new covenant, you have to be aware of them. Because for a lot of these guys, this is just an internet thing. You know, just an internet thing, or a way to try to scheme on brothers and get money out of them, or try to scheme on them. But a lot of guys ain't they're not even built for this like that. Acts 20 and 30, also of your own self shall men arise speaking perverse things to draw away disciples after them. You see that? So that's the thing. What Paul was saying, contrary to what Paul was teaching. Paul was teaching the Gentiles. Paul was teaching the new covenant. Paul was teaching salvation. You have certain men trying to draw men after them, even if they ain't right. You see? You see what I'm saying? That's not my thing. I'm not trying to draw men after me for nothing. The thing is about drawing you to the Lord, bro. That's what this is. This ain't about you. I'm trying to draw you to my clique or none of that. This ain't about that, bro. And a lot of you guys trying to gather men unto yourself, you ain't fucking right yourself, because you're missing the whole mark about this. So like if somebody tell you something about me, let's just say, just know you getting piecemeal of that shit. You see, and I'm in a place now. I don't even want to talk to nobody, bro. Don't talk to me about shit. I don't want to hear nothing, you know. Cause only a few brothers I deal with. Other than that, man, I don't even watch a lot of you guys, bro. I'll see you guys' titles. I'll just look at your titles. I don't even care what you're talking about, because a lot of you are not doing this in a sincere heart. It's out of envy and strife and debate. At the end of the day, you're not even of this, and you're teaching in envy and strife and trying to tell men they're wrong and this and that. A lot of you guys ain't right. Like I said, a lot of you need to get your life together before you even teach somebody anything, bro. Go get your life together. You can't help nobody. You can't even help yourself. The hell out of here. Acts 20 and 30, also of your own self shall man arise, speaking perverse things to draw away disciples after them. And that's what these camps have done, bro. Everything they teach is perverse. Teaching the new covenant here, that's perverse. Teaching men they could go buy actual harlots and sleep with them, that's perverse. Teaching men that you got to get on a spaceship, then you'll be in the new covenant. How the fuck you think you're going to be get on a spaceship and then you're going to be with the Lord and you didn't agree with him on the earth? How you going to go out of space and you don't even agree with the Lord on the earth? It's crazy. It's crazy what you guys... But you have an audience and you have the majority of people because they're in a carnal, racist, demonic mind frame like a lot of you guys. We got to understand this world is dominated by the prince of this world, the prince of the air. The prince of the air is not the white man, bro. That's the only thing you guys see is race, because you're carnal, bro. You're licking up dust. A lot of you guys are the new covenant of your father, the devil. Acts 20 and 31. Therefore watch and remember, by the space of 3 years I cease not to warn everyone day and night with tears. Day and night with tears. So Paul was in the business of, when he got knocked off that horse and the Lord showed him the light and the right thing, he ceased not to warn day and night with tears. I'm gonna just say this: a lot of you not even in that spirit, and that's the spirit of the new covenant. To warn and to teach men day and night with tears. That means being fervent. A lot of you are slothful. You have no intentions of really wanting to do the work like that, and then you go fool other guys because they'll pay for you. So you fool them too. But if they can't see it, then they won't see it. That's all I got to say, man. And I have to say certain things because a lot of you are full of shit. A lot of you guys are. Let me grab this real quick, and then I'm going to go to Matthew's. It's just the truth. First Corinthians 13 and 1. And so you have to understand this, bro. You see, you find this video, repent. You don't have to must watch nothing, man. I'd rather like it if a lot of guys don't find the videos I'm doing, because it ain't for everybody. You must watch this video. You see, trying to gather men to yourself. You don't even care if they right or not. You're just gathering people. You see, that's why I say a lot of you are not even in this because you really had compassion. You're just in this because you want to show people, oh, I know this. You see, and all the while your heart ain't right. 1 Corinthians 13 and 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. So a lot of guys are just tinkling cymbals, just making noise for nothing. Nothing, bro. Hollow in the inside. A lot of you are. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, look at all this, all these prophecies. The prophecies is talking. Prophecies is talking while you're in your insides, you're just as hollow. You're empty in the inside talking about prophecies. It's crazy. All knowledge, and though I have all faith so I could remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing. And have charity, I am nothing. And a lot of you guys, the main reason why you don't have charity is because you can't see the Gentiles. Certain Gentiles have been forgiven and they believe in the Lord. So you don't have mercy on certain ones that believe. So you don't have nothing. Talking about guys teaching, nah, guys don't teach prophecy. Well, you don't teach in the spirit of love and charity or compassion. You're teaching prophecies in the spirit of hate, bro. That's what you guys are doing. Backwards. Leading men, telling men not to go into the new covenant, and you can't go in yourself because you ain't right. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor and give my body to be burnt and have not charity, it profiteth nothing. You see that? It profiteth me nothing, bro. If you don't have any mercy, or you're not doing this out of love, certain you guys are the new covenant too. You don't have nothing, bro. A lot of you guys just doing this to use brothers, bro. And I won't be the one being used, bro. Go use other guys that just want you to be on their team and shit. You see, I'm not in the business of that. I'm not in that business of just hanging out with guys, trying to have guys. This ain't like that now. This is a way more evil time. So what you got to understand is you're going to have to walk this road by yourself the majority of times. This ain't about clicking up with nothing. You better click up with the spirit. The majority of guys ain't even of the spirit. That's why a lot of guys hate me. Because a lot of you guys, low-key, you're of the world, man. That's just the truth. So if you've never done this for compassion, if you was never doing this for compassion, and love, and charity, and having mercy on certain Gentiles, not all of them, not even all Israelites, that shows that You don't even have charity. You just making noise. I seen one video of this guy doing he did a video on black women quitting jobs. Oh my goodness, bro. The state of our people, they're in the worst state. Because the Lord have cut 2/3 of our people off already, bro. They're cut off in the spirit. They don't do this for the spirit. They do this for the flesh, bro. This is what you got to understand. That already happened. 2/3 were cut off. You cut off. You're cut off if you're teaching this. This is about race. You're cut off if you're teaching in the spirit of hate, bro. You're cut off if you're teaching in the spirit of envy. You're cut off, low key. You could get on videos and spew out all this knowledge, but low key, you're in the spirit of hate, doubt, and envy. That's what this is about now. So a lot of you guys, yeah, you can get more views than us. You could know these breakdowns, and you could bring out all these tricks, but deep down, a lot of you guys are of Satan, bro. That's just the truth. Take it how you want it. Let me jump down here, then I'm going to get to Matthew real quick. 1 Corinthians 13 and 13. 1 Corinthians 13 and 13. And now abideth faith, hope, and charity. These three. But the greatest of these is charity. All right. And this is the main reason the Lord came, to show love and compassion on humanity, bro. So you guys don't believe in hell, so you don't understand the Lord was in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights, pulling men out of hell, bro. You don't understand that because you're of the world. So the world looks down on certain things. That's why it don't matter what none of you guys think. It is what it is. And a lot of you guys are in the spirit of hate. And you're going to go someplace where you don't believe in. That's where you're going to end up. Mark 1 and 41, and Jesus, Hamashiach, moved with compassion, put forth his hands, moved with compassion, put forth his hand and touched him and said unto him, I will be thy clean. I will be thy clean. So the Lord, he moved with compassion, touching people, bro. And this is how we really move with the new covenant. We touch people with compassion. Just to show you the right thing. You don't have to follow me carnally. Just follow the spirit spiritually. That's what this is. You might hear me or the other brothers follow the spirit therein. Follow the spirit. Follow the Lord. Go to the gospel and read the gospels. Now, if you don't have love in your heart, you ain't going to be able to teach this like that with compassion. Luke 10 and 33, but a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. Who? A certain Samaritan. And the Lord said, don't go in the ways of the Samaritans. But who had compassion on that man? Not even the Levite prince. That's a heavy parable in itself, because he's showing you two things. He's showing you that the compassion came from a Gentile, and the Levite priest can't even help you. That's heavy, bro. So, I see this thing on a whole nother level, while you guys see this on a carnal base level. Because a lot of you are just base. A lot of you are of Satan, bro. I don't want to talk. I don't have nothing to do with none of you guys. Good. Go over there. Good. I'm glad guys feel that way about me. I'm good. Glad. You see, just know when you hear something about me from one guy, or whatever you may hear, which I don't give a damn anyway, but just know you're getting a piece cut up of his interpretation. So until you hear from me, then you won't have the whole story if you hear things of me. And really, I don't care if you believe it or not. Because look at the state of guys and you believe in guys. Look what state guys are in. Look what state he's in. Look at the state of guys they're in. That's all I have to say. A lot of you men's intention was not really to push this word like that. It was to be an actor and to get things out of men. That was your whole thing. Romans 9:15, for he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. You can't tell the Lord who he can't have mercy on. The Lord say he's the God of the Gentiles also, bro. So I'm not under no camp spell, bro. You see? I've been a soldier in the Lord, bro. I know what it is to walk alone, bro. It's not a problem with me. You see? Let me grab this one too. Sirach 18 and 11. This is a dagger right here. Sirach 18 and 11. Therefore God was patient with them and poured forth his mercy upon them. He saw and perceived their end to be evil. Therefore he multiplied his compassion. Part of the compassion in this time is certain of us teaching the new covenant in a sincere, compassionate matter. That means just teaching it with love. So like let's just look at it like this. If you're teaching this with compassion and love, that trumps somebody knowing a bunch of fucking information and knowledge. Beats them teaching in the spirit of hate with a lot of knowledge and a lot of information. Let's just say. They can teach all that information, but they're in the spirit of hate and envy. You see what I'm saying? But you having compassion, teaching what you're teaching, trumps everybody teaching for the spirit of envy and hate. If you can understand what I'm saying. Now, this is the point. Sirach 18 and 13. The mercy of a man is towards his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. All flesh. Every creature. The Lord said, go preach to every creature, bro. Are you racist? You carnal men in these camps, you will never understand God because you were never of God in the first place. A lot of you guys were of Satan. Sirach 18 and 13. But the mercy of a man is toward his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. He reproveth and nourisheth and teacheth and bringeth again as a shepherd to his flock. You see that? And he had mercy on them that receive discipline and that diligently seek after his judgment. You see that? So he has mercy on them that's receiving discipline that diligently seeks. That slothful spirit is going around bad, man, with certain of you guys, bro. You're just not interested in really teaching this. And this is a thing to where, like, if you came out of the camp and the Lord gave you a second chance, bro, you should be like the Lord, like what Paul said. He ceased to warn day and night with tears. A lot of you just ain't in that spirit. And certain guys are just teaching deceitfully. They could teach a bunch of lessons, but they're deceitful. Now let's go to this real quick in Matthews. I'm gonna close it out on this. I think I made a point. I think I made an important point. It's not about how many videos you do or how much you know. It's about what spirit are you in teaching those videos, bro. That's what matters the most. And a lot of you just don't get it. Matthew 26 and 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to the anointed Hamashiach, Jesus, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare thee to eat the Passover. And he said unto them, and he said, he say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at my house with my disciples. My time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at my house with my disciples, bro. So the Passover, the new covenant Passover, is really being kept by a few. It's not being kept by our whole nation, bro. Even in 1 Corinthians 15, I think, 2 Corinthians, one of them, he came back and he only showed himself to 500 people, bro. But his Passover is letting you know that this is not a feast of everybody. So guys that are in camps holding Passovers with all these guys in there, that's just a Passover of Satan. That's really of Satan, because if the Lord came, why are you still holding men to that old Passover? Because it's a trick by Satan to keep you out of the spirit, to keep you out of the new covenant. That's what that is. So the Lord said, I will keep my Passover at my house with my disciples. And the disciples did as the anointed had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now when even come, he sat down with the 12. He sat down with the 12. This did not include all our people. That's all I'm trying to get you to see. So the majority guys teaching they have nothing to do with the Lord according to the scriptures. And I can say that. Repent to the new covenant, man. Learn how to read men's spirits, man. I'm not here to pull rabbits out of the hat. I'm not here to get the most views. I'm not here to be the most popular. I'm only here on a mission to pull a few out the fire, and that's it. Repent to the new covenant. I'll see you brothers on the next one with the A Shalom.